the studio at African Utility Week in PowerGen Africa. Today I'm speaking with Emma Miller on the topic of the smart solutions driving energy access. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
Emma, can you tell us a bit about the Shell Foundation and some of the projects that you're currently working with?
Sure. The Shell Foundation is an independent nonprofit registered in the UK, and our job is to use philanthropic capital to build enterprise-based solutions to solve some of the biggest challenges in the world, particularly on access to energy and transportation. Within the energy sector, we have an array of energy projects, from cook stoves to solar lanterns to all the way up to mini-grids, which is the sector that I lead. And one of our latest really exciting projects is to start using some of these off-grid technologies and business models in partnership with utilities, which we're currently piloting in Nigeria under a company called Energy Company of the Future.
Great. And digitalization, it's definitely an enabler of change. How is it enabling your organization?
Well, as I mentioned, I lead our work in the mini-grid sector and think about trying to provide energy solutions in really remote rural villages. As you can imagine, technology progress has made it possible to better manage and serve the people of these villages. As an example, within our portfolio, companies we've incubated to enable these markets, one of them is Odyssey Energy Solutions, which provides an IT platform for more transparent donor funding to enable these villages, these mini-grids to be built. We have a smart metering company that we've worked with since inception called SparkMeter, working with an organization called Fern Technologies that provides remote monitoring and controls. So you could imagine enabling you to turn your diesel on or off, or measuring your battery usage and so on. So the ability for the sector to do this from headquarters and not having to drive 6 hours in remote villages to check on these things is reducing costs very quickly and making huge strides in enabling the model to work.
And what are some of the challenges that you've seen around implementing these digital technologies?
I mean, one of the big challenges in my sector, which is what I speak to, which is easy for me to speak to, is just the costs. We're working on really thin margins, as you can imagine, in rural utilities, and it needs a lot of upfront funding to build out these technologies. So there's a cost factor, and that's where like the Shell Foundation comes in to provide some early stage grant to help build the platforms or the hardware, whatever we're building, and enable them to get some data, prove the model, and actually improve the design. And then hopefully they attract commercial capital from there.
And the energy transition, it's a relatively new term in the industry, but what is your view on this?
Well, I'm really excited about the energy transition because I'm working on it. So working in the off-grid or the rural utility sector, using predominantly renewable components and the most exciting new technology in utilities, I believe, I think we're building the transition. And what I'm really excited about is the challenges we're solving with innovative new technology and innovative new business models. I believe that over time, they will come back and help with utility reform as well. And we're already seeing that with smart metering and smart kind of operating controls in the current utility sector. So that's what the transition means to me. It means we have a white space to go build the most innovative new energy systems where nothing exists. And that includes things like IoT-enabled appliances, actually end-to-end management of these systems, because they're so small. You can actually build them to be incredibly effective and efficient. And I think we'll take those learnings and be able to use that in utilities as well someday.
And what have been some of your key takeaways this week?
Key takeaways, well, fantastic conference, thank you. I have been really impressed with the attention that the off-grid sector is receiving at Africa Utility Week. I think 5 years ago, there may not have even been a panel or two, and I think there were like 8 or 10 of the off-grid sector. And I was just speaking to some of my colleagues in the sector, and we work really hard, and sometimes it feels like it's a huge challenge to solve. And I said, let's look at this. It's a win. Like, we're really making main stage. And renewable off-grid, the whole idea of non-traditional utilities has definitely made the front page, and it was really clear here at Africa Utility Week.
Emma, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel now for more industry-related content.